Hi and welcome back to my channel. I've got my strong cup of tea happening here. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a little coaster from the set Peter. If you haven't heard of him, he's called Peter Cromer, and he's my favourite Australian artist. He just does all sorts of beautiful Australian well, Max and Williams sponsor him, and he put out cups and coasters and tea towels and all sorts of stuff, and his art is just gorgeous. And I collected a lot of his set when it first came out, and it's in the storage bay. Anyway, that's beyond the point. I've got this strong cup of tea because I've been trying to calm down. I don't drink, I don't do all that sort of stuff. My daughter said, Mum, sit down, have a strong cup of tea, give the dog a cuddle, and I'm trying to calm down because me and Pickle just got attacked by a dog, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. We were doing our normal walk, and I seen this dog running up the road, the middle of the road, so it had obviously got out of its yard, and it was a pit bull cross staffy, big chunky thing, and as soon as it seen me and Pickle, it made a beeline for us, and I was just like, oh, holy hell, here we go. It came over to Pickle, and they wagged tails, and I thought, okay. And then as soon as we went to move on, it didn't want us to go. And as soon as I said to it, go home, and started to talk firm to it, it put Pickle in a chokehold over Pickle's neck like this and pushed him to the ground. And I immediately just grabbed Pickle. You know, that's your first reaction, is to save your dog rather than your own life. I picked Pickle up, and that dog then grabbed Pickle's back leg, and luckily for that he had his long clothes on, like he squeaked out when it grabbed his leg. When I checked when we got home, he's got a little scratch on his skin, but it didn't break his skin. Thank the Lord. And I picked him up, and it just kept jumping up at me then, and I was screaming. I didn't know how to get it off me. You know, it was just relentless. Just kept at it and at it. And I was so thankful a man stopped in a ute, and he got out and he started shooing the dog off us, and he said, keep walking, and I, stupid me, put Pickle down to keep walking, and it started for us again. I go, quick, pick your dog up and just walk, hold your dog and walk away. And he got his shoe off, and he was threatening this dog with his shoe and telling it to go, and it just wanted to come back after us. It was just being relentless. And by this time I took off because I was only 5 minutes from home, and I've walked these streets for the last nearly 5 years and haven't come across this problem. So it's obviously got out of someone's yard. It didn't have a collar on or anything like that. So I'm just looking backwards the whole time as we walked off, and he eventually shooed it off and got in his car and drove off, and he gave me a wave as he went past, and oh gosh, I was just so thankful for that man. I feel like almost like a guardian angel. Just at the right time he pulled up. I don't know. That dog would have damaged both me and Pickle if it had kept going. Yeah. So, Pickle had his tail between his legs, and he just ran. He just wanted to run all the way home. The poor little mite. I hope he's not scarred from this, because he's so social and he loves every dog. He loves, But he could tell, before this dog got him on that chokehold, he could tell he didn't like this dog. He just stood still with his tail down. And every time I tried to move, this dog would, go in for him. And, oh gosh. So, yeah, I came home and rang the police and the dog control and reported it, because imagine if there's plenty of mums that walk around here with prams and a dog, and imagine if it went for something like that. Oh gosh, it just shook us up so bad. I'm just thankful it didn't touch my skin. It didn't get me. It got Pickle and he squeaked out, so it hurt him. And I took a picture of it. He's got a little scratch on his back leg, but like I said, luckily he had his pants on. Otherwise, it probably would have broken his skin. But the police and the dog catcher were good. They asked if we needed any medical assistance and all that sort of stuff. So they said they were going to send someone out to see if they could find it. My goodness, I've never had that happen before. And it shakes you up so bad. It shakes you up. Because you come home and you think, what could have happened? It could have been so much worse. Alright, I'll just finish this cuppa. And I thought I've got to get on and just do something to help me relax. Alright, that's out of the way. Dave said, sit down, relax, do something that's calming and that you can put your focus on. So I'm doing this. Alright, let's get out some bits and pieces. I'm just so thankful that we're okay. Oh gosh. Alright, I think we'll sew these little shells on. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love this little piece. And there's just so much you can do with bits and pieces you find from the op shop, and I love op shopping. I think it was born out of a need, this op shopping business, because over COVID, we settled here in we got back from our trip around Australia in the end of 2019, and we were free camping, and we were happy doing that because we didn't have Pickle at the time, and we didn't have, our storage bay was still up on the coast. Now I'm going to put this shell probably here, so I'll sew this down while I chat to you. So yeah, our storage bay was still up on the coast, and so we were just free camping. We thought, we don't know where we're going to be, because we'd sold our house up on the coast, so we didn't have a home to go back to. And so we just thought, we'll just free camp and just see what happens, and then COVID hit. And they closed all the free camps and all the free rest stops and all that sort of stuff. So we then came into a caravan park, which we're still in here now. And they let us, they weren't taking people because of COVID, but because Dave had picked up some work, how am I going to do that? Is that going to look okay? I hope so. Because David picked up some traffic control work, they let us in as a worker, as an essential worker. And he ended up getting night shift on the border crossing, because where we are is on the border of, come on, go through there, because where we are is on the border of New South Wales and Victoria, in Wodonga. And we live just, a minute away, 2 minutes off the border. And so he got work on the border crossing, and it was night work. And he was working every night for, I think it was about 5 months. It was quite a while. So when we were in our cabin at first, and then they an opening came up we were in our camper, and then an opening came up in a permanent cabin, and we took that, and this is where we still are. And then because of COVID, we couldn't get back up the coast to bring our storage bay down. We tried a few times, but because COVID had closed everything, that's a bit hard to get through. Oh gosh. Yeah, so it took us ages to get our storage bay. And so this is where op shopping came in. I didn't want to buy supplies, it just costs so much money to do things like brand new. And I found a few nice things in the op shop down here, and I thought, oh, this is not bad, this op shopping down here, because I was up on the coast where we were. It wasn't that good, the op shops, and I started to find some really nice things. And then and then my daughter said, Mum, have you tried junk journaling? Like, you can do a lot with junk journaling. And I said, what's junk journaling? And she showed me, and I was just like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And she said, yeah, you just make it out of whatever. And so I started doing a bit of research on junk journaling, and got right into it. And there's a bit of my fingernails are just so bad at the moment because I redid all my plants, and I just gnarled all my fingernails up. You know how it goes. But I got that out of my system. It's all done, and I thinned everything out, and it's looking really pretty. Really pretty in my little potted garden. Anyway, back to the point. So I started doing some more op shopping and finding some beautiful things there. And that's how it all got started. And like Dave, my husband, he's an enabler. He'd say, oh, you want to go op shopping? And he'd take me because at that point I went through a lot of anxiety before we went away, and had to go on medication for it, and so I couldn't even drive. I didn't even drive by myself until I got Pickle, and that little dog has done so much for me. I would take him in the car where I couldn't, if I couldn't take anyone else, and I would talk to him, and I would talk to Dave on the phone, because you've got to get around, you've got to function, and I would talk to Pickle. Even the radio didn't help, but just the presence of something else in the car, or someone else in the car, and he's like another little person, Pickle. And he was awesome. He just helped me to no end to drive by myself again, which I'm just so grateful for. And so I still don't go to many op shops by myself, because it's like a day out for us. And Dave takes Pickle, and we take Pickle, and he sits in the car and just relaxes while I go into the op shops. Oh, he's a great man. He works so hard. Just me with all my emotional problems, and Yeah. And just recently my panic attacks have started back up because of in the middle of the year when I had that 1 year mark came when my ankle was healing, and that looks nice there, doesn't it? And the rain started here again, and the park hasn't done anything about the problem where I slipped. And yeah, I found myself standing there on a rainy day after I'd got out of the car. I walked to our cabin and I could see there was just water sitting all along where I slipped. And I found myself just standing there staring at it, thinking, hell, what if I slip again? Because I've since been diagnosed with osteo in my hip and pre-osteo in my spine. And the doctor said to me, don't you dare fall over again. And so I've just been so paranoid. That's why I just walk in specific areas. I don't I follow a path. I don't, go off the path and all that sort of stuff. I just want to keep myself safe. So after I found myself staring at this, I started to have panic attacks again every time I went out for a walk, which not good. So now I'm seeing a psychologist, and she said to me, I think you've got some sort of, at this stage, you've got some sort of health anxiety happening, but I'd say it runs deeper than that because my dad gets it. It's in our family. And, yeah, in the past I have dealt with it, but in the past I had a very bad bout of it. Very bad bout of it. Oh, now where am I going to put this shell? I sort of want to... Do I put them in a row like that? Do I put it in half in the sea? Then you can't see it. Do I put the starfish half in the sea? Maybe that would look okay, and then put that up here. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, so now I'm battling that. So that dog episode today did not do anything for me. Oh, it didn't do anything for me at all. Now I've just got to try and realise it's just an isolated case, because I've never had that happen the whole time we've been here. And you could tell it was a dog that had got out of its yard because it didn't know where it was going. It was running up the middle of the road, had no road sense, had no collar on. Anyway, I hope the dog catcher and the police get it before it hurts somebody. And for its own sake, why do people keep dogs like that are so vicious? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Anyway, I think I just got to try and not let it get to me and make me paranoid, because it's taken me a long time to get out by myself and do things by myself. So I'm not a big fan on that, and I'm okay with someone else. I'm okay. We've all got problems, but it's I think how we deal with them is very, very important. And I've got grandboys that need me. I've got my children, my grown children that need me. And I don't want to be like this. But I know that I am, but I've got to learn to live with it and deal with it. So it's oops, sorry. And it's all how you deal with it and live with it is what is important. So I've got to keep driving, or trying to drive by myself, because we take the grandboys places now. I pick them up. Once a week and take them to playgroup, and I also pick them up to bring them here and take them home. So I've got to just, stay on top of myself. I don't want to turn into a recluse. I don't want to turn into somebody who is paranoid. My dad, he's 90, is he 95? 90, yeah, he'd be 95, and he still struggles with it. He never really learnt to deal with his anxiety, and that is so sad. So sad. Because now he's lost mum. I'm sure he has a lot of anxiety, especially at night time. I know he does at night time. Because he always says to me, if you're going to ring me just on dark. You know what it's like, just on dark? People, it's that hour where it's just that hour, and I feel it. If Dave's not here, I feel it at that hour too, So, yeah. And it took, before I took medication for my anxiety, I could not, if Dave had night shift, I couldn't cope. I could not cope by myself at night time. I would, one of the kids would stay with me because they were still at home at the time. They would come and sleep with me in the bed, and I just couldn't cope. And that's no way to be. It is no way to be. But now, it took me a while when I started taking the medication. It took me over a month or so for it to work in my system. Before that, I got frustrated at everything. Everything frustrated me. Everything annoyed me. Everything. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And like I said in my my video of the my journal video, that trip actually saved our marriage, because it was just before that trip that I started taking my medication, and it literally saved our marriage. So yeah, it's a funny thing, anxiety, because if you don't be careful, depression comes along with it and can open up a whole barrage of problems. So you do need to get treated. Don't ever feel ashamed to see someone, talk to someone, even take medication. I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed for years to even admit that this is me, this is how I am, and I'm not coping. And it almost wrecked my marriage. So it's something we need to all be very careful about, and how we deal with it. So yeah, never be ashamed of it. It's just so common. It's so common. So this is what got me into op shopping. I couldn't get to our storage bay. It took us quite a couple of years to get our storage bay down here, and it just felt like our life was somewhere else as well. It was so weird, and we just needed to bring our two lives together, our past bits and pieces, which were just basically keepsakes and some of my craft stuff. When we packed our house up, it was in the middle of me not being well as well, which was really hard to pack a house up and start this medication. Yeah. So I feel like I can think properly now. I feel like I can make better decisions. I can think a problem through now without getting upset. I can make a wiser decision. I can sit and I can take my husband's advice better. Whereas before, I didn't even want to hear it. And he's always had such good advice. And it always used to hurt him that he thought I didn't listen to him. And it wasn't that I didn't listen to him. It was my problem, you know. It was whatever was going on with me. It wasn't easy. And I'll never make excuses, because he would constantly say you need to get some help, and I wouldn't listen. So I'll never make excuses. But it was like it had to be done on my terms and my time. But it was to the point where it started to get bad before I could actually sit up and take some notice. We really struggled too when our children left home, because we were so close as a family. We really struggled to find our feet. Where do we go now? Who are we as a couple? And after each kid left home, it was like, there's another one gone. What, you know? And then when our last one left home, or just before she left home, we were, you know, she had some problems with people, and we were in a church community, and they just didn't want to understand where we were coming from, which was so sad. So sad. All they wanted to do was get us to do things. You know, and when I told them I couldn't do things, this is when all my anxiety started. No one wanted to know. And it was just really sad. We ended up leaving that community because of that. They just didn't want to understand. Didn't want to understand or even know what we were struggling with. Which was sad. You know, church is where sick people go, isn't it? And you sort of think, well, if you're not well, someone wants to help. But there were some not so nice people that were having a good old power play, and yeah, it's been hard to move on from that. So here we are in a new community, new start, new people around us, which is just awesome. So, you know, if you're, you know, I just highly recommend the whole thing. The whole thing of just purging out all, you know, your belongings. I know I've got a lot around me at the moment, but I mean just like all your house belongings, and it did us so good just to get rid of stuff and just keep what we want and go and do something completely different. And it's like our daughter lives here, and when she said that they were expecting for the first time, of course we didn't go anywhere else but here. We thought, well, we're staying here. And we just love our little boys to bits. They are awesome little boys. We are so blessed to have those two little boys in our lives. And this is why I just want to stay well. When I broke my ankle, I was devastated because I couldn't do what I needed to do for them. I've only just started to get back into taking them to that hurt, to playgroup, which is fun again. I'm enjoying that. And they've started to come back around to our place, which is fun. You might have seen the picnic that I put up in my on my community page. Oh, they love picnics. And Pickles loves them to bits. Oh gosh, he loves those boys. He just loves having them here. and Judah will go up to Pickle and give him a big hug and say, "Hi, Pickle." They were some of his first words, Pop and Pickle. It took him a while to say. He says Gam. That's how he says Graham. He says Gam. And it's so cute. It's so cute. I think Asher called me Gam too when he first started talking. And he still hasn't said his own name. I said to him when they were in the car the other day, I said, "Can you say Judah?" And he went to say Jude, and then he went, "Ah." And Asher's like, "Judah, say Judah." And he went, "Ah." He's going, "No, Judah, say your name, Judah." And he's like, "Ah." Oh, he's a funny little fella. All right. So this is me from now on. I've started to blossom out a little bit, and I feel like I'm a different person. When I was taking that medication, I didn't know who I was. I did not know. It was so confusing. I started to feel myself change, and I'd say to Dave, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am. And he's like, just let it do its job, and and I'm slowly working out that I am a nice person. I'm a very real person. If you don't know me, I will say what's real. I won't muck around with that. If something's stupid, I'll tell you it's stupid. If something's, I'll just tell it how it is, and it's not to offend. It's just, that's just how I am. So yeah, that's me, and I'm a better person. I'm a nicer person. I'm getting to know this new person, and I like this new person. It scares me to death if I have to go off the medication, because I don't know who I would be. I don't want to go back to who I was. I mean, I wasn't a bad person. I wasn't a bad person before. I was just very confused at times, and I just needed that little bit of help, and that's okay. All right. I was a very giving person with friends. I had a really lovely friend, and that went really wrong, and I got pretty much pulled over the coals because it went wrong, but it wasn't. She was having her own problems, which anyway, I've got these little things here that they're bead caps, but when you push them down, you can stitch them onto your work to make them look like other things. Doesn't that look cool? There's another little one here, and well, I think Sonia gave me this idea. And yeah, you can stitch them on your work to make them look like other things. I think that's really cool. I've got another little one here that looks like a little sea anemone. That would look pretty cool too. So I might sew a few little things like that on. What's this? Oh, that could look cute in there. And I like these little things, these little beads. Maybe that could look nice in the centre. Look like a little sea anemone. Alright, I might get my beading thread. I like to use my beading thread, and I like to use my wax. And don't know whether it'll go through this needle. Might need to get a beading needle. Oh, that one's... I'll try this one. Alright, we might use what colour? Might use this tan, this skin colour. Yeah, so if you're a person that suffers with anxiety, never sit and just live with it. Please go and get help. Go and get help. You need to, because I watched my dad live with it for years, and it affected my life. It affected my marriage. See how that untangles that? It just untangled and flattened that thread out. That's the purpose of this wax. It does not get on your work. It does not ruin your work. It's just awesome stuff. What was I saying? Yeah, please reach out and get help. Never think that you have to live with anxiety. It's not something that you have to... I mean, you do have to live with it, but you can get on top of it. You can. I mean, I'll never get rid of mine, but it's all how I deal with it. That's the thing. How am I going to deal with that? How do I, that's the thing that, okay, where's my little beads? I was getting my tiny little beads that I got from Kmart. These are awesome, these tiny little beads. I'm just so glad I found them, because they are just that size, that are just perfect for those little projects. I ended up going back and getting another packet of each. I thought, I'm not going to run out of these tiny little beads. I ended up getting another set of each to poke away. Yeah, I might put a little red bead on top of that, because it's got a red bead there. So I've put those on, and I've put those little bead cap and a bead, and I'll miss that last little tiny bead and go back through them all, and that will anchor that on well then, like that. And then just sometimes I like to just at the back just pull that nice and tight and anchor that off at the back too, and it stops it from slipping from there to the next one. Yeah, so I could also come in and put some little beads up between them, because look, there's little arms on that. So let's have a go at that. What about some little orange beads in there? That could look nice. And I better not stay on here too long either. I'm not going to... Where'd that pig go? I'm not going to quicken up these videos for this because I want you to get a look at what I'm doing. And because I have had a few people say, oh, does it need to go that quick? And it's just that I don't want to bore you to tears, that's all. That's why I do that. Alright, I'm going to bring those beads through there. And let's put a few more on. Oh, I didn't come up. You got to come up through the fabric. Well, at least I'm starting to calm down and laugh. I wasn't doing that an hour ago. Oh, gosh. I've never felt like that around another animal. And it's just so scary. So scary. Alright, so you're going to go through there? Come on. There we go. Like, I've been around dogs my whole life. My whole life. I've never had anything like that happen. Even when we were really little kids, our family had dogs. I remember when we were really little, we had a sausage dog. Oh, see, I've done that again. we had a sausage dog and a basset hound. He was called Red George, and the sausage dog was called Mandy. And that poor sausage dog used to fall into pup every season because the resident poodle would get into our yard every time. Poor Mandy. And she'd have these crossbreed long-haired dachshunds and poodles. So we always were around puppies. I can remember putting the puppies in a little pram and scooting around the yard with them. We kept one of the puppies and called him Mott because there was this cartoon of an alien and this guy from Mott from the planet Zot or something like that. So we called the dog Mott. And yeah. So yeah, it was quite confronting to be, oh, that's not going to go through again, to be caught up with another dog. I think there'll be enough for that one. So I'm just going to tie that off at the end. Now, I'm no expert at any of this craft by any means. I've watched people make things. I've watched Sonia make her individual pieces, and you just use that to inspire you and to inspire your own creative adventure. He's not long gone to work. He got canned today and then got called out. So I'm just like, oh gosh, I wish someone was here. But anyway, I'll give my daughter. I gave one of my daughters a ring. I'll ring the other one. They're all starting to message me now. Are you okay, Mum? You okay? I'm just glad I didn't have the boys here with me, and we were out walking with them. Oh gosh, imagine that. Holy dooly. What else will we put on here? Oh, Sonia gave me these little shells. Aren't they cute? I should put one of them on. Just so I go, yeah, Sonia gave me that. Thank you, Sonia. I might pull that down so it sits down flatter. It looks like a little, actually, I'm going to chop that off. Oh, there you go. I don't know where the rest of it went. I think it jumped in there. I just don't want anything to get on the floor. Alright, isn't it a gorgeous little shell? We could put a little pearl in that. That could look cute. Well, there's these little beanie ones. No. What about we put what about a little purple one? That could look nice. Alright, let's do that. Where are we going to put it, but up here in the sand dunes or near the water? Maybe just there. What do you reckon? Alright, I'll put it there. So to attach my beading thread, it's really hard to tie a knot in bead thread because it's like that Nemo thread. So what I do is I just put a couple of stitches on the back, leave a loop, and go through that and pull it tight. And then just come up where you want to come up. So I'll put him about there. We'll go through the shell, and these holes in these shells, they're usually not man-made. They're usually by a little creature that drills a hole in them. I mean, they probably are man-made for that, but when you find them on the beach, you always find a little hole in them, and it's usually because another creature has attacked it and killed it. I had someone say to me once, "Oh, why do you collect shells? You know that the beach is a graveyard?" And I was like, yeah, what about it? But you can't find good shells in a graveyard. This person was a shell collector, obviously, and they would only collect, oh come on, get through there, they would only collect the pristinest of shells, which means you've got to go out and catch a live shell or catch it fresh dead. That's not me. I'm not into taking live shells. You shouldn't do that anyway. So yeah, he asked me what I was doing in the graveyard. Why are you collecting things in the graveyard? I've found some gorgeous shells in the graveyard, so that are empty. Alright, that's on. That looks nice, doesn't it? I'll put something else on here too. It's going to flap around a little bit, but I might put a little bit of glue under there. That might help it to just, because it's only in, the hole's only in one spot. There's no, but that's okay. I won't be swinging off it. Right, I haven't got much done, have I? I like this sort of stuff too. I love this bit of chain. I was going to put some more embroidery on it, but don't know. I might put, I do have some other bits in here. I was going to put some of this under there, like another wave. I think I might do that, like it's splashing up. I'll put there a bit. So I might just sew that on while I've got, probably should put some blue thread on. Have I got blue thread in there? Yes, I do. Good. So we'll put a wave on. And we won't do too much more because I don't want to drag this out. I'll have to come back another time and watch me. So I thought I'd just pick this up today to help myself calm down, and I have, you know, it's calmed me down, which is good. Put that back in there. So I'm just going to gather up this. I'm just so grateful for people who help, you know, people who jump out and give you a hand. I just feel like he was my guardian angel today. He was there right at the right time and with the right mannerism to deal with something like that. So thank you, whoever that was. Right, I've got my little wave. Isn't that cute? And I'll stick it under this other. I was going to stick it in there, but I think I'll push it down in here. And it's like a random splash coming up from the wave. Just to give a little bit of dimension, which would be cool. Right, get back under there. I'll tame you yet. I'm going to tell it who's the boss. And yeah. So if you're having a rough day, try and stay positive. Try and just stop. See something else that is positive in the day and put your mind on that. And I think that helps. And I hope it turns into a happy day for you. Because, you know, we've got a lot to be happy about. We've got a lot to be grateful for. If you're breathing today, it's a happy day. It's a happy day. I've had a lot of health problems go wrong after I broke my ankle. But I am very, very grateful that everything I've been able to treat. My dentures they're amazing. The denture clinic lady did an amazing job on them. I'm just talking nice and clear, and they fit well, and I still haven't gone back to have my last fitting. She still needs to, she wanted me to wait for up to 4 months if I could, while my gums all settle. And I still need to go back and have the last fitting. I said to Dave, I just can't believe it. This is, you know, I still have to have, I have them adjusted, and they're just so comfortable. So I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. So if you're contemplating that, I know Ginny told me she needs to have some work done. Don't be scared, Ginny. Don't be scared. It will all turn out. And persist. A lot of people go, oh, I can't wear those dentures, and they just do without. Why? Why, when you pay all that money or you go through all that heartache to get your teeth ripped out and put things in, why leave them out? You got to get used to them. And this is one thing the denture lady said to me: your bottom dentures move all the time because you're talking, your jaw's moving. They're the ones that are going to be the hardest to get used to. I can eat, I eat with just my top ones in. I take the bottom ones out to eat because they just feel weird. But I've persisted and kept them in, and I'm so happy with them. They're so comfortable. All right. I need to put some of this stuff on too before I get too far along. I wanted to put some netting on, and I should have put that on the background. I should have put that down underneath as I went, and I didn't even think about it. So I can put some on. Just put a little bit on up here. so it looks like it's going underneath. Poke that under there. Alright, let's get you tacked down. We can put something in the net too, that would be cool. So I'm just tacking this down in the little corners of the net, just to so it's not going to flap anywhere and you're not going to get in there. Oops. Over here. Enough. I'll go back up this way and sew it onto the that end bit down. Right, I think that will be enough for me today, but I can go ahead and put a few more things on, but I might do it with you because it's fun to do it with you. Right, so that is the start of this. Like I said, I've got to bring a flower here, here and here, so I want to make sure I leave that area free for the flowers. And but yeah, I'd like to put some more beading and stuff in here. This sand dune area, I'm going to put a pig face flower. I bought some of this off Temu. Now it sort of looks like, where is that thread? Oh, I looked the thread up, and what was it called? I looked this thread up, and I think it's called rayon ribbon, something like that, rayon ribbon. And I thought, oh, I know I had a purple. Why did I get purple? I was after a dark pink. Anyway, I got these two colours, and I might go and get the pink too. But if you compare them, like, what does this say it is? It says it's polyester, but it said it was I'm pretty sure it said ribbon, like polyester ribbon. And if you compare them, this one, I'll just get this one and compare them. Can you see them together? This one's quite a bit lighter. Oops. This one's quite a bit lighter and thinner. But I reckon you could do the same thing with them, like I did to like I did on this shell. And they will, yeah, like I said, this is a lot thinner, but I reckon you could use it the same way. And I wanted to buy some just to see if I could use it in stitching, because it's advertised as like a crochet thread. So that's quite a big ball. And this one, how many grams is it, or meters? I can't remember what it said. What did it say? I know they've only just come, so So that was the listing for it. Polyester yarn, silky, mercerized flat ribbon. Is that how you say that? 3mm wide. It says for crochet, and it's lightweight. And it's got some beautiful colours, but the advertising look like has it for bags and hats and things to crochet. But there's some gorgeous colours in it. Oh, I think that was the one I wanted to order. Idiot. But it's got some, look at all the beautiful colours. And it was $5 a roll, which is pretty good. Like, look at how much you get on a roll. There's a lot on there when you compare those other ones that are only this big. These are vintage ones. I'm pretty sure they're vintage. So that's something to look out for. I might put the link below if you're interested in them, because I think they would be quite interesting to stitch with. So I'm going to have, probably because I got these, I wanted to do the pig face in this colour. That's probably why I got it. You know, I just want to experiment with different threads and things, not just necessarily use silk ribbon or something like that. I just wanted to use different things. So yeah, there's some gorgeous colours there, variegates as well. That's the colour. Is it I got? No. So what I don't have in those other colours, oh, that's the pink I think I was after. And that other one, the dusty one. I got that one and the variegated purple. Yeah. Interesting. Alright. So I'll put those links below if you're interested in that thread, and hopefully I will use that on my pig face up here and you can watch me use that and see how it turns out. See how it stitches. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed being with me today, having a little chat. Yeah, if you have any of those sorts of problems, take heart. We're all in this boat together. We all need help. We all have problems. And you know, if you can glean some help off somebody else's experience, then that's all good. Alright, I hope you'll join me for another episode of my Ocean to Outback Stitching, where I cover the top of this little sewing box. I think it's going to turn out really cool. Right, take care guys, have a great weekend, and I will catch you again soon for a new video. If you're new here, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.